So does anyone know what is lipid?
So it's a fat molecule. I mean, it's a fat
Yes,
thing.
it is fat molecule. So it is fat that we generally speak.
It is a biomacromolecule.
Yes, macro. Let me see. It is a biomolecules. Okay, that is also right. It is a biomolecule. It is a biomolecule. It is fat. You are right. Is it soluble in water?
No, sir.
No. So lipids, you see the lipid, if we have to define lipid, as carbohydrate, we cannot define exactly by one composition as lipid. Okay. So lipid are heterogeneous group of compound. Okay, lipid is heterogeneous group of compound, and that more related physically. One point to define lipid, they are a heterogeneous group. Second point is more related physically. And then third point, the chemical relation of all those lipids is they are potentially related to fatty acid. Chemically, they are potentially, physically they are related, potentially related to fatty acid. So what does this potentially means? So they either have fatty acid within it, or they can bind with the fatty acid to form a functional lipid. So this is these are heterogeneous group of compound. When we talk about classification, then we will know how are they heterogeneous group of compound. We will come to know, because their chemical structure are little bit different, and then you will know. So they are more related physically than chemically, and if we talk about chemically, they are related to fatty acid. Okay, so what are heterogeneous group of compound? We will see this heterogeneous group of some compounds are related to glycerol. These are called glycerolipid. Some compound are related to sphingosine. And I will describe this all compounds. Don't worry right now. Some are related to cholesterol. So can you see the variation? Can you see the variation?
Yes, sir.
And some are also related to long chain alcohol. That is called wax. Does our body has wax? Do we produce wax?
Yes,
sir. Sebum.
Yes, earwax, sebum. So our body produce wax. So this wax is nothing but very long chain alcohol plus long chain fatty acid. This is wax. So can you see a very different of this chemical structure of cholesterol is completely different. Chemical structure of this sphingosine is also different from glycerol. Can you see this heterogeneous type of compound being related to this lipid?
Yes.
Tell me. This 4 type of compound you can see, and these are all insoluble in water. These are all insoluble in water. Related more physically, they are all insoluble in water and soluble in organic solvent, and they all will be related to fatty acid. We will talk about it. You have seen here fatty acid, then here also cholesterol ester will form fatty acid, and then sphingosine will form fatty acid, glycerol will attach with fatty acid. So most of them are related to fatty acid. We will talk about now this lipid. As you have taken, did you get the introduction of lipid? What
Yes,
is
sir.
lipid actually? Now, we have introduced little bit lipid, and then we will classify lipid. Then we will talk about glycerol. What is glycerol? Then we will talk about glycerol. Before only I will give you an explanation of glycerol. Then we will talk in detail about saturated fatty acid. We will talk about this unsaturated fatty acid, because fatty acid has very important components of that triglyceride and membrane lipid. And then we will talk about phospholipid, which is a very integral part of membrane lipid. Phospholipid is very important part of membrane lipid. Then we will talk about glycolipid, which is also a very important part of membrane lipid and also myelin sheath. And then we will talk a little bit about this cholesterol. So we will talk about, these are all heterogeneous group of compound. We will talk one by one about them. Let's first see what are the function of these lipids. So lipid. So can anybody tell me what are the function of lipid? Few function of lipid.
Energy production.
Yes.
Sir, in cell membrane, it acts as a, membrane. Yes. Selectively permeable membrane.
Lipid bilayer. So it forms the lipid of that membrane, lipid bilayer of the membrane. So cell membrane, it is very important part of cell membrane. Which lipid? Phospholipid. I will tell you about that. So amphipathic lipid will form part of cell membrane. Energy, when energy? During fasting condition. It is the fat is the fuel for body during fasting and starvation condition. During fat condition, what is the fuel of our body?
So can you repeat the question?
During fat condition, what is the fuel of our body? Fat fuel of our body.
Fat state, sir, glucose.
Yeah, glucose. Very easy. It is glucose is the fuel. During fasting condition, major fuel is fat, fatty acid, fat. Now, glucose during fasting condition, glucose is also utilized by certain tissue, but this is predominant fuel is fatty acid. Now, cell membrane. Second function is cell membrane. Now, can you say other function? Do you remember other function of lipid? Try to recall any other function.
Yes, sir.
Yes, tell me. That is good. Cell membrane and energy. Then other functions. Can you remember? Try to.
In digestion.
Digestion. So digestion.
It maintains temperature.
Temperature. Okay, that is also a good answer. Actually, it functions as insulator.
Sir, in certain places it acts as a ligand, for transporter or something, messenger or something, secondary messenger.
Yes. Secondary messenger. That is good. Secondary messenger. So, have you studied this membrane transduction? Like no, signal transduction, not signal transduction. Have you studied signal transduction?
Receptor signaling, sir.
No. You have studied signaling?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, no, sir.
So secondary messenger, do you know what is secondary messenger?
Sir, ligand bindings, ligand transportation, voltage
Not
transportation.
everyone know what is secondary messenger.
You don't know. Okay, I will explain it. So insulator, did you know what is insulator? So see, that is a good answer. Second messenger, not secondary, second messenger. Now you will see, you know how hormone acts.
Yes, sir.
Hormones is secreted from, for example, a distant tissue. For example, from pancreas, islets of Langerhans of pancreas secrete insulin and also in glucagon. From beta cell, insulin. From alpha cell, glucagon. So insulin takes the example of insulin. So let's say this is insulin. Now I will write receptor on the membrane. This is remember, this is a cell. Okay, I am just taking different color. So this is cell. DNA material is this is nucleus. This is a receptor. Receptor of this let's say this is insulin receptor. Insulin receptor. Insulin receptor is different from glucagon receptor. Now this is a glucagon receptor. This is insulin receptor. Now let's say this insulin. This is insulin. So insulin will bind here. Okay. So insulin, especially all hormones, are primary messenger. Primary messenger. This hormone will bind the receptor that is bound to the membrane. This hormone does not enter into the cell. Now, because of binding of this insulin to its receptor, and then glucagon to its receptor, what will it do? This receptor will be activated and it will change the environment inside cell. And how does it change the environment inside cell? By producing some chemical here inside cell. For example, insulin will produce different type of chemical, but glucagon will produce certain receptor of glucagon will produce IP3 and diacylglycerol, IP3 and DAG. This IP3 and DAG that represent this glucagon here is called second messenger. This is first messenger, this is second messenger, and this will bring about the changes, all changes, necessary changes inside the cell. Did you understand this? What is second messenger? Did you understand? This is lipid.
So can you repeat again?
IP3.
So, who is this?
Tejal.
Tejal. See, did you understand up to this, Tejal?
Yeah, this about this diagram, can you explain it again?
So this, did you remember this glucagon is primary messenger?
Yes.
Now, this after binding to this receptor, I am not going into the detail of this mechanism. This receptor will bring about changes in the inside cell, and this because of this receptor there will be production of this chemical inside cell. I have taken the example of IP3 and DAG because lipid, these are lipid, and this IP3 and DAG, diacylglycerol, will bring about the changes inside cell. This messenger that represent glucagon here inside, it is called second messenger.
Okay.
Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Because glucagon cannot cross the membrane, it will bind to the membrane receptor, and this messenger represent glucagon here inside the cell, and this will bring about the changes inside cell. This is called second messenger. So first messenger is hormone, and second messenger are the molecules that are produced because of hormone inside cell.
Okay.
This is second messenger, and IP3 and DAG are the second messenger. Lipid messenger, these are lipid messenger. Memorize this. Inositol triphosphate, IP3, and then diacylglycerol, DAG. IP3 and DAG are these are second messenger. So these are second messenger. This is very important function of lipid. This is a very, very important function of lipid, second messenger. So you can remember this cell membrane. This is also, cell membrane is also important function. But you may forget about this messenger. Don't forget. This is a very important function of lipid. Now, after this function, what else? The lipid can be. Have you heard about hormone? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Lipid hormone. What is lipid hormone? Can you give example of any lipid hormone? Tejal? Asya? Aisha?
Leukotriene.
Yes,
Leukotriene.
Those are like steroids.
Sebaceous glands, sir. Sebaceous glands. Sebaceous
Sebaceous
hormones.
gland, it does not produce hormone. It produces sebaceous protein lipid, direct lipid. It is not a hormone. I'm talking about hormone. Okay, that is. Yes, tell me.
Can they include like steroid hormones, which our body produces?
Yes, that is what I expected.
Testosterone.
Steroid is also lipid because it is insoluble in water, and that is why I told you heterogeneous group of compound. Yes, you are right. Leukotrienes, then testosterone. Leukotrienes, prostaglandins. These are local hormones. These are local hormones. Okay, but this is testosterone is not local hormone. It is well recognized hormone. Testosterone. Testosterone. And then progesterone. Progesterone. And what else? Estrogen. Estrogen. These are sex hormones. Sex hormones. Now, is there other steroid hormones? Aldosterone. It is mineralocorticoid. In other sense, lipid also regulates mineral balance. Mineralocorticoid. And you can see this other hormone, cortisol. It is also synthesized from lipid. Cholesterol. This regulates glucose, blood glucose level. So these are the hormones you can see. Now, can you tell me some other function related to hormone?
Sir, we take in different drugs which are not water soluble, so we need lipids to get it soluble in that.
Okay. That is actually not normal function. That is liposomes are different thing. Okay, I'm talking about normal function that involved. That's noted. Well, valid point, but that is not a part of our body. Now we are talking about normal function. So these are you can see these are lipids. So did you all understand this function of lipids as hormone?
Yes, sir.
You have already answered C. I did not answer. You have already answered signal transduction. You have already answered very important function, cell membrane, and you have already answered hormones. Now, so you already know bile salt is synthesized from cholesterol. And you know bile salts are required for lipid digestion. So lipid is required for lipid digestion. Lipid is required for lipid digestion. Cholesterol, bile salt. Bile salt will digest lipid. Inflammatory, you have already answered inflammatory mediators or local hormones, prostaglandins and leukotrienes. Now you can see this myelin sheath. It is also very important. Myelin sheath is nothing but what? It is also a lipid. Isn't it lipid, myelin sheath?
Yes, sir.
Myelin sheath is made up of which lipid particularly? It is made up of predominantly of sphingolipid. Okay? Sphingolipid. We will talk about what is sphingolipid. It is made mainly of sphingolipid. Which sphingolipid? Galactosyl sphingolipid. So myelin sheath. Now bile salt, inflammatory mediators, receptor for apoptosis. So when do you know what is apoptosis?
Cell death.
Cell death.
Apoptosis. Okay, cell death. Which type of cell? It is a programmed
Acute.
cell.
Acute.
Not acute.
Acute.
So this cell death happens because of cell injury, that is inflammation also. That is because of what? Necrosis also. Cell death is also necrosis. There is two terms, necrosis.
Yes, sir.
Necrosis is also cell death. Cell death, okay? And this is acute cell death, in fact. Cell death. And there is something called programmed cell death. Okay? Cell death.
Suicide death.
Yes, more than, yes, suicide, you can call suicide. And also normal, that when cell becomes aged, okay? Cell becomes old inside our body. Then cell will die of itself. If cell, in DNA synthesis, I have told you DNA that if you can remember the chapter in DNA, I have told you one thing, that this is cell. And then if this is inside the cell, there is DNA, nucleus. If there is damage happens to nucleus because of any chemical or radiation, you know this. So what will happen? What will be the response? There is one protein. Yeah, mutation. There will be mutation, but the cell cannot progress with this mutation. What does cell do? There is one protein. Do you remember that policeman of cell? What is that name of that protein?
Sir, mRNA.
What is this protein? Guardian of cell, policeman of cell.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember this P53?
Yes, sir.
So this protein actually will stop cell cycle. This cell cycle, division, DNA synthesis, everything, it stops cell where it is, and tell cell either you repair the cell or you die.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember this?
Yes, sir.
So P53 stops cell cycle and says cell, okay, you have a problem. You have a problem. All criminal has a problem. So you have a problem. You have a damage. So either you repair yourself or hang yourself, die. So death will happen through apoptosis.
Apoptosis.
Did you get this? Can you link the apoptosis to this DNA
Yes,
damage?
sir.
One process is this. Other process, there can be a cell that actually this cell will normally age. Okay, and this aged cell can go under apoptosis normally. It will die. Okay, so apoptosis is a very important process. Now see, if there is no apoptosis, if there is no cell death, so what will happen? There will be, cell will not die and there will be malignancy. Cancer. Failure of apoptosis can cause cancer. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
If something is not there, immortal, what is cancer cell? Cancer cell is immortal cell. So apoptosis does not happen, malignancy. So apoptosis is related to malignancy. Understand the wholesome concept. DNA damage, you don't have to go into detail right now. If you understand the broad concept, okay, cell has this DNA damage has to be repaired. And you can remember this simple concept. If you can remember this simple concept, it will help you understand pathology, medicine. And if you don't understand, even if you don't understand into detail, and if you know what process happens, okay, DNA injury has to be repaired. If it is because DNA injury is mutation. If it is not get repaired, then there is a protein who hold that cell responsible either for repair, either change your behavior or hang that cell to death. This protein is called policeman of the cell. This policeman keep watch on the cell behavior. If there is damage in DNA, the cell has to either repair the behavior, correct the behavior of that DNA, molecule of the DNA, or that cell has to die. So this is the function of policeman of the cell. This is judge of cell, whatever you can see. This is policeman of cell. Commonly, we refer policeman of cell, guardian of cell. So did you understand this programmed cell death? What is programmed cell death?
Yes, sir.
Now, programmed cell death. So there is process of this is and the morphological process. I'll describe a little bit about morphological. So what happens in apoptosis? So this cell will shrink in apoptosis like this. But in necrosis, cell will swell. There's this very big difference. And this shrinkage will release up small blebs. This is apoptotic blebs. And then macrophage will engulf this. And then lipid will help this macrophage bind to this apoptotic bleb. This is macrophage. This lipid will help this macrophage to bind with this apoptotic blebs. This lipid is nothing but, you can see this lipid is nothing but amino acid containing lipid. This is called phosphatidyl serine containing amino lipid. So did you all understand what are the function of these lipids? Very important. These are few functions of lipid. There are much more functions. And are you studying microbiology?
Yes, sir.
Till now, what have you studied in microbiology? Just can you tell me in a nutshell? Bacteria. Have you started bacteria?
Yes, sir.
Which bacteria? E. coli. Did you study E. coli?
She's teaching everything in general, like gram-positive bacteria, gram-negative bacteria. Right?
Okay. Did you study about exotoxin?
Yes, sir.
Which bacteria contain exotoxin? Gram negative or gram positive? Gram
negative.
Not gram negative always contain endotoxin, okay? And also endotoxin. And exotoxin, this gram negative bacteria contain both. It can have exotoxin and endotoxin, but gram positive will have only exotoxin. Okay? So
yes,
this is basic concept you have. So you know this exotoxin is some molecule that will be released by bacteria and that will cause damage to it. So you can see here E. coli exotoxin and cholera exotoxin. These both are gram negative bacteria. Cholera and E. coli both are gram negative bacteria. They will secrete a very different type of molecule. They will secrete a different type of molecule like this pentamer molecule. This molecule actually in GIT, this molecule will bind to the brush border. This molecule will bind to the brush border of the intestine, of the intestine, and through a lipid, not through a protein. It will bind to this membrane through a lipid. This lipid is ganglioside. So this pathogenesis of cholera, in pathogenesis of cholera and E. coli diarrhea, you know this E. coli and some pathogenic, not all E. coli will cause diarrhea, some pathogenic E. coli will cause diarrhea. So cholera and E. coli will cause diarrhea, and this diarrhea is because of this toxin, and this toxin will be taken up by lipid receptor. You can see this lipid receptor. This is ganglioside. So these are the important functions of lipid. Lipid is very important. Let's talk about this. Let's talk a little bit about the classification. We will talk about classification of lipid. So classification of lipid, we will actually start with the lipid and we will talk about the backbone, then we will go to the classification slowly. If I directly tell you classification, you will not understand the relevance of that classification. Now let's see this. So this is then all lipid. Generally, we will talk mainly in this class about two types of lipid. Okay, I don't want to confuse you for this cholesterol containing lipid, because cholesterol containing lipid you will study somewhere else, everywhere, but we will focus mainly on this only two types of lipid. Okay, it is called sphingolipid and glycerolipid. And in sphingo, this is the backbone of sphingolipid. This is backbone of glycerolipid. I have already explained the definition. The same definition is written here. Heterogeneous group of compounds, and that including fat, oils, steroids, waxes, related compound. They are related more by physical than chemical. That is what I said. Do you remember what I said?
Yes, sir.
So now you can see there are two types of lipid, and those both lipids, can you see this both lipid? Can you see me here?
Yes, sir.
It is like E, isn't it like this E number?
Yes, yes.
So you can do your hand like this, and this is lipid, structure of lipid. It is easy. So this is, you can see this is E-like structure. This is backbone. Here also different, a different type of backbone, but it is also E-like structure. Only difference is that the E, the first finger here is a bit larger. Is a bit larger, like this. Isn't it larger?
Yes, sir.
So that is the basic difference. That is the basic difference between this is sphingosine and glycerol. Both are E. Now, so if you understand this backbone, the lipid containing this backbone is called glycerolipid. Lipid. And then lipid containing this backbone is called what? Sphingolipid. Did you get this? Did you get this?
Yes, sir.
This is simple classification. You can see this classification is based on this backbone chemical structure. So you can classify this whole lipid into two types, glycerolipid and sphingolipid. Glycerolipid containing glycerol and sphingolipid is containing sphingosine. Now there are other lipids. Let me mention that heterogeneous. Let me that verify this terminology. As I have already explained, you can see cholesterol here. Fatty acid will bind here, and then this will become cholesterol ester, and then here you will see wax, one alcohol, other part of fatty acid. This is fatty acid part. This is alcohol. By the way, do you know what is fatty acid? What is fatty acid? Do you know what is fatty acid? Just tell me if you know.
Yes,
that is fine. If you don't know, that is fine. Do you know?
Fatty acids are like molecules of fats.
Molecules of fat. Great.
It helps in digestion and everything.
No, not digestion. See, helps in digestion. Bile salt helps in digestion. Okay, not fatty acid.
Okay.
Fatty acid is fuel during fasting condition. Okay.
Okay.
So chemically, fatty acid is a organic compound, as you said, containing this carboxy group. One carboxy group is fatty acid. Now, generally, they are long chain fatty acid. They're long chain organic acid, hydrocarbon. Can you see? This is long chain hydrocarbon with one COH group at the end. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I will add one more because our body has 16 carbon. 15 and 16. This is 16 carbon fatty acid, predominant fatty acid of our body. This is called palmitic acid. Have you heard about palm? So you all
Palm as in tree.
Yeah, palm tree. Everybody must have seen the palm tree because many
Yes,
of you are from the coastal areas, and there people have so many palm trees. So the palm tree have got this palm has got this fatty acid. That is why they extracted from that palm oil. It's called palmitic acid. That is why this is called palmitic acid, extracted from plant. First extracted from plant. 16 carbon compound. So this is 16 carbon compound. This is CH3. Now CH2 with 14 carbon plus COS. This is palmitic acid. Did you understand what is fatty acid?
Yes, sir.
Now, just I will tell you one trick to remember this fatty acid structure. So consider this fatty acid as, I'll tell you, a snake. Can you consider this fatty acid as this snake?
Yes, sir.
Because you can see the structure. There is C and then O group, oxo group and OH groups. So this is like, just remember, like a snake. This is because it is a long chain. So this is fatty acid. Palmitic acid, I given you example of palmitic acid because this is predominant fatty acid. And you can remember palmitic from palm tree. So 16 carbon compound is fatty acid. So the fatty acid will bind here. You know, this fatty acid will bind here. I will talk about that fatty acid. So fatty acid will bind this here and here and here, and it will become a triglyceride. So this is glycerolipid, the backbone, glycerol backbone containing lipid are glycerolipid, and this is sphingolipid. So just go into, let's go into the detail of this numbering. Can you see this glycerol? And glycerol is numbered like this: 1, 2, 3 carbon. Now this is numbered this way here, from here it is starts from here. So this 3 here is equivalent to 1 of this. 2 is okay, 2, but 1 is equivalent to 3. Can you see this? That is the numbering difference. And you can see here at first position equivalent to 3, here OH, here also OH. But second position you can see there amine, there is amino group. That is the difference. So with this 2 group, fatty acid will attach. Here with all this group, fatty acid will. You can see that this is fatty acid attached to this long alcohol here. You can see O group here and O group here. So fatty acid will attach here also, here also, here also. It can attach all 3 places. Now in sphingolipid, fatty acid always will attach to 2 position only, not at 3 position, 1 position or other position, only at 2 position, only here, fatty acid. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So do you understood? Now, so this is 2 types of lipid we will talk about: glycerolipid and sphingolipid. And then we also classify lipid. So first let me talk a little bit about other things, then we will classify some other way. They include different compounds. I have already explained: insulin, insoluble in water, soluble in organic compound, and potentially related to fatty acid, and used as a source of energy by animals. These are the other description of these lipids. You can see. Now, glycerol. Where do we get glycerol from? This is one question. I will ask one question from this. Where does our body get glycerol from? Backbone glycerol from? So this is the answer. Where our body gets glycerol from? Can you see?
Glycolysis.
From glycolysis. So glycolysis, you know, from glucose, you know, up to this process, this is done by aldolase.
Yes, sir.
Now from this dihydroxyacetone phosphate, it will rather going for glycolysis. This dihydroxyacetone phosphate will go for glycolysis, can go for glycolysis to form pyruvate, but this dihydroxyacetone phosphate will convert into, will go under reduction, and this will convert into glycerol 3-phosphate, because phosphate is there. That is why this is glycerol. What is dihydroxyacetone phosphate? This is dihydroxyacetone. This is acetone. Acetone here, hydroxy group is here, hydroxy and phosphate. So dihydroxyacetone phosphate. This is this molecule. This molecule, when it is reduced here, the double bond is reduced, this molecule will convert into this molecule, OH, and then phosphate. The utilization of NADH. Sorry, NADH. So did you understand? Reduction of dihydroxyacetone phosphate will form glycerol 3-phosphate. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Not this glyceraldehyde. Not this glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Though glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate can easily convert into dihydroxyacetone phosphate, and you will get this. So answer will be, where do we get this glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, and ultimately for glycerol is this. This is the answer. We get this glycerol 3-phosphate from DHAP. Now, did you understand where does our body get glycerol 3-phosphate from?
Yes, sir.
And glycerol
Yes, sir.
from? Okay. And ultimately from glucose, and immediately from dihydroxyacetone phosphate. So this is the answer. Dihydroxyacetone phosphate is produced from glycolysis through reduction in adipocyte, convert into this glycerol. This is a very important reaction actually. Where do we get glycerol? So this glycerol is also, we get glycerol also from glucose, and fatty acid. When we talk about fatty acid synthesis, fatty acid also is also derived from the same glucose. We will talk later. Now you will say this molecule. So this molecule, this is what? This is sphingosine. This we get from glucose, no problem. Glucose, DHAP, glucose. But this molecule we get from different sources. This part, you can see a long chain. Actually, long chain we derive from fatty acid. Okay, and this small chain, 2 carbon, hydroxy containing. Can you tell me hydroxy containing amino acid name? Hydroxyl group containing amino acid name? Anyone?
Serine.
Serine. So this is derived from this hydroxyl group containing part is derived from serine. Serine. Now you can easily understand where sphingosine is derived. Let me write palmitic acid. You know palmitic acid is 16 carbon compound. So let me draw palmitic acid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. This is 16 carbon. And on this 16 carbon, there is OH. Here. There is O. Okay. Now let me draw the structure of serine. This is acid. And then, sorry, this will not be suitable here. Now let me draw the structure of serine amino acid. This is carboxy group. Let me write this side. This is acid, and this is alpha carbon. This is amino. Okay. Now this is side chain. What is side chain? You will see CH2 and OH side chain. Do you agree with me right now?
Yes, sir.
Now this 2, this is, do you agree this is a palmitic acid, 16 carbon compound palmitic acid?
Yes, it is.
Okay, you agree. Now what will happen is this 2 molecule will combine. This palmitic acid and this serine will combine, and this, when these 2 react, what will happen is, you will see what will happen is this COOH will be released as CO2, COH, and then there will be formation of bond between this and this, and there will be hydrogen, and this oxygen and 2 hydrogen here will also release as water. Because of that, there will be formation of bond. Can you see this as sphingosine?
Yes, sir.
There is insertion of a double bond somewhere here. Now that's the sphingosine. That is the sphingosine. So sphingosine is made up of what? Which compound?
Palmitic acid and serine.
Serine. So will you remember this sphingosine?
Yes, sir.
Will will you view this whole part as palmitic acid and this as serine? This is palmitic acid. This is serine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you remember this, you will remember this. Now you will understand. You have started understanding lipid. So this is sphingosine made up of palmitic acid and serine. That is why it has got amino. Where this amino group came from, you also know this. OH group came from, you also know this. Okay. Now this fatty acid will bind here only. So fatty acid, if binds here, what type of bond is this? This is amide, isn't it? Amide?
Yes.
Amide. So amide of what? Which amino acid?
Serine.
Yes, serine plus amide. What is this? If you have to write one word, what do you write here? Serine plus amide. Try to speak. I'm not asking that. Even if you are wrong, no problem. Serine plus amide. What would be the one letter word? One word.
Serinamide.
Serinamide. Okay, that is also right. Serinamide. You remove this N, I, N, E. Then what will it become? Remove this and add this amide. This becomes what?
Ceramide.
Ceramide. Okay. So ceramide, but the spelling we write ceramide as C-E-R-A-M-I-D. Ceramide. S is written as C. So you can see this sphingosine plus fatty acid will become ceramide. Now, did you understand this two concept?
Yes.
What is ceramide? What is sphingosine? What is ceramide?
Yes.
When I tell you,
Yes.
when I tell you ceramide, you have to understand sphingosine plus fatty acid. Sphingosine plus fatty acid is sphingosine plus fatty acid is ceramide. This is ceramide. So we will talk about ceramide only everywhere, because some group will be glucose will be added here, it will become glucosyl ceramide. If galactose is added here, it becomes galactosyl ceramide. If phosphocholine is added here, phosphocholyl ceramide, it becomes like that. Okay?
Yes.
So you will not see sphingosine, you will see ceramide. So understand what is ceramide. So the name is completely different from that sphingosine. In glycerolipid, you will see glyceryl phospholipid, but here you will not see sphingosine sphingolipid. You will know sphingolipid, but the name will be ceramide. So understand what is ceramide. Okay. So this is ceramide.
Yes, sir.
Now you have understood this. So I have already explained this. This palmitic acid plus serine. You don't have to memorize all this. The end result is ceramide. Did you get this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Did you understand, everybody?
Yes.
If you have not understood, you can tell me right now. If you understand this background, you will understand everything very nicely. So now there is one important thing also. You can see this ceramide, this is sphingolipid, is a very important part of myelin sheath. Okay, myelin sheath. In addition to membrane, it is also very important part of myelin sheath. And this myelin sheath and this is ceramide is formed by this pyridoxal phosphate, vitamin B6. So you have to understand this vitamin B6 is required for synthesis of myelin. Will you memorize this? B6 for myelin?
Yes, sir.
So remember, vitamin B6 is required for synthesis of myelin. So that is why if this is deficient, what will happen? If vitamin B6 is deficient,
No neuron
yeah, myelin will be deficient, then neuropathy.
transmission.
Yes, then there will be neuropathy, peripheral neuropathy. So connect with this deficiency. So vitamin B6 deficiency will cause neuropathy. See, for pre-med, I am focusing on very basic concept. I am going into detail of the basics so that it will make your foundation very strong for MD1. I can go for disease, but you will never, nobody will teach you this basic thing. Only biochemist can teach you very basic things in a very easy way. Isn't it a very complicated molecule? Isn't it a very complicated molecule, ceramide? Don't it seem very complicated right now?
Yes, sir.
But is it complicated for you?
No, sir. You understood.
So that is what you have to understand this basic. If you understand this basic concept, just if you remember this E, and that is glycerol and sphingosine. So this basic are very important. If you understand right now, your biochemistry will become very strong. So you understood? Now next class we will see this. So what adipocyte is made up of, then what membrane is made up of, what oil, chemically what is oil, you will easily understand what membrane is made up of, what myelin is made up of. We will talk in later other class. Okay.
Okay, sir.